Episode 84. I'm headed towards 100. I think I'm going to stop when I get to 100. It'll be like a walk off for me. But I'm currently sitting in my basement watching the Colts get destroyed by the Lions. We're just not very good. But I am going to start with football. So my Indiana Hoosiers finally got beat yesterday and beat badly, as I expected, by Ohio State. They're just really good. And I'm trying to sort of behave the way I teach on the tennis court because I really can't be mad or upset or angry or sad. We're 10-1 for the first time ever, chance to make the playoffs, relevant for at least one season, and I've never had that, so I'm cool with it. They were just better, got beat by a far better team, and I know there's a lot of people saying that we're no good, and but for me, it's a heck of a season. And I always tell my players, "What's the score?" So when you're complaining about your whatever, I have to look now about what's our record. We're 10-1, and I finally got one season to watch IU football on TV, and so that's pretty cool. We still have a game left. We're going to beat Purdue by 55 points. They're terrible, and then hopefully make the playoffs and get to see some more. But I'm going to accept the 10-1 loss to what some say the best team in football. So that's my football talk for the day. Something cool happened yesterday, and if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, we had a bald eagle in our backyard sitting on a telephone pole, kind of flying around and hanging out, and it is awesome. I don't think I've ever seen one. If I have, I don't remember it. But what a cool creature. And when it flew, its wingspan is massive. So if you want to check those pictures out, it's on, like I said, it's check out my Instagram. It's on there. It's on Facebook as well. But cool bald eagle. Turns out there's not all eagles are bald. I didn't know that. Had to ask my birding friends. Um, so getting through the usual stuff that just comes up during my week. I was driving after dropping my kids off at school, and I come up behind this car that's driving pretty slow for I believe it was a Monday morning around 7:30, 7:45, and the had one of those triangle hanging signs in the back, the kind that say like "baby on board." This one said, "Please don't honk. I'm very sensitive." Guess what I did? I couldn't help myself. Oh, I honked. They were driving incredibly slow, holding up traffic, and please don't honk. I'm very sensitive. What is that? So then I Google it, we look it up, and it's a whole brand of things that say that t-shirts and bumper stickers and magnets. Where did that happen? What are people going to think is going to happen when you have that in your car? I cannot be the only evil person that immediately thought, well, I got to honk. If you're that sensitive, don't drive. I just don't get it. I could get blasted by someone who says I don't like people, but I don't. But please don't honk. I'm very sensitive. That that teaches a good lesson. So anyway, I honked, and if I see that again, I will honk even louder. Also, I heard of this thing. I think we were talking about it at work called an angel shot, and apparently it's something where if you're at a bar, I'm assuming a bar, and you're in a situation that you don't want to be in, someone's talking to you, you're fearful. Apparently, you ask the bartender for an angel shot. I didn't know what it was, but that means that you need some help. You need assistance. You're in danger, um, and so I just thought it was pretty cool. It turns out it came from used to be an Angela shot, something like that, and it turned into angel shot. You hear my dog barking. I don't know what's going on, but Willie's upstairs. So I thought that was a cool thing to think about on a tennis court is when you're in trouble, your partner's in trouble, they're off the court, they're off balance, something happened that put them under stress. You need, as their partner, to be the angel shot. We did a whole lesson on it, of you becoming the one to help them. They're asking for assistance, so be the angel shot for your partner. Anyway, I know it's dumb, but that's what I talk about. All right, last thing before some tennis stuff. My usual when I'm the president, and this actually exists. So when I'm president, I'm going to make it more prevalent. So I want a bagel with no holes in it. It's easy. It turns out it sort of exists. It's called a bialy, Bialy. It's kind of got a depression in it, and you can put fillings in it and stuff. But I have struggled with my bagels that like the cream cheese or honey or peanut butter, or whatever the topping is, falls down the hole, gets on the plate, gets on my hand. It's all messy. So bagels with no holes. Why doesn't someone invent a place that sells them? Because I'm going there all the time. All right, that's all my dumb stuff. So I got a couple things I'm sort of happened during the week and I struggle with on the court. And so it sort of comes down to separating skills versus results when you're in a lesson. A singles, I primarily teach doubles and 4 on a court or 3 on a court. So almost everything I say is doubles based, but I really struggle with students not being able to separate the skill they're trying to improve versus the result of that point or that game if you're keeping score. Um, and so I had this week, I had player, we're going to call this person player A. I gave them one job. It was a high forehand volley. That's it. When we start the point with that, if they execute that successfully, that is a success for them. That is improvement. That's progress. It did not matter who ultimately won the point. And this person was great. They hit a ton of them correctly. They also lost a lot of points. And I always have to explain, well, that's likely because your opponents, your partners in your drill, they know what's coming. I'm telling you, here comes this. Here's where you're going to hit it. They can hear me. They're going to slide over, and they should get them back. So player A did a really good job about staying with me and not getting caught up. And even though they were losing some points, they were executing the skill correctly. So I had a similar situation, but player B, different group. This player was working on a skill, but could not get past the result of the point. It didn't matter if that skill they were practicing was correct, they did it right. If they ultimately lost the point, that consumed them. They could not get over it, arguing and telling me they're not going to do it anymore. And when I was solely working on the skill, no one else cared about the result. Guess which one of those players is going to improve the quickest? Player A. It's an easy question because player B can't get past the result, and player A knows we're working on something, we're practicing, we're getting better, even though we might lose some points. So if you're in a group lesson, listen to the coach. What is he asking you to practice? And if you're executing that, who cares who wins? It doesn't matter. No one wins the drill. I promise you, your coach isn't recording victories and going to give out trophies later. But try to stay focused on what the skill is versus the result of the actual point if you're in a competition. Also, I talked last week a little bit about your thoughts, and you know how I don't believe you could have them or should have no feelings. But ask yourself, can you have thoughts without acting on them? So when you're on a tennis court, can you have sort of multiple outcomes that you believe might happen without acting on them immediately until they happen? Right? So you can believe, hey, this situation, I've seen the lob before, or I've seen the drop shot, or I've seen the down the line, or a drive, whatever it is. But can you delay acting on them until it actually happens? And I think that is a real challenge that people have of delaying actions until there's some more information. It goes sort of along with what I talked about in the last podcast, but there's a lot of players who they get these thoughts in their hands and then they act on them. Turns out that thought was wrong. So maybe you have a collection of different options, different outcomes, and deal with them when they show up. I had a hit with somebody this week, good player, struggled with some confidence, and as we're walking off the court, she told me this: with confidence comes calmness. I'm like, I'm going to steal that and make it mine, which I just did. Because this player was a little stressed, a little frantic, had great strokes, good player, should have more confidence, but sort of panicked, thought they always had to be doing something, creating something, being great, and just doesn't have the confidence yet to be calm. And I just thought that was a great way to put it. With confidence comes calmness. So I've stolen it. It's now mine. If you steal it, I expect full credit of that. Last thing, because this is a short one, probably 15 minutes or so. So many of you know Heidi works with us at the WAC. She's our league coordinator. And about 3 times a year, Heidi gets kicked into action, meaning we have 3 league sessions and there's a tremendous amount of work. Um, Registration week, once you get all the registrations, creating the league schedules, getting everybody in the right places. And this is hundreds of players she has to deal with. And she does it 3 times a year. And I sit next to her, and it is nonstop for about 2 weeks, maybe 3. Constant phone calls, texts, people hurt, people injured, people signed up for the wrong thing. Someone wants to be in a league that they're not good enough, or they're too good. And it's just someone can play once a month and then they want to play twice a month, and then they've decided not to play at all, and then they call back and they want to play some more, and I can only play the first Monday and the second Thursday, and she's amazing at it, but it is chaos and it's stressful, and I watch her go, and I'm thankful it's not me. I get to deal with the uncomfortable conversations and make big decisions, but she handles the serious stuff. And I talked to her a little bit, and I asked her, Heidi, if this was an everyday situation, before I even got the question out, she said, I quit. It's too much. You cannot maintain that. And I thought it was great that she understood that. So I talk a lot about being calm on the court and not moving when you're not supposed to, not dancing when you're not supposed to dance, don't leap, dive, twirl, spin, all that stuff unless it's asked of you, because you can't maintain it. When you start a lesson, you start a drill, you start a match, and you start out full blast, you're sweating in 5 seconds. You can't maintain that. It's competitive endurance is what I heard recently, and I like that phrase. It's hard to keep that up. You have to be, you got to pace yourself. So like Heidi can go 2 weeks nonstop every day, and then she's going to go 2 months just putting out small fires, answering questions, fixing things, but nothing major stressful, we hope. And she understands that this is not something she can maintain over 12 months out of the year. And we wouldn't ask her, I couldn't do it. But I think when you're on the court, don't freak out. Don't start too fast. Start slow, build up. All the things we've talked about, and find a good balance. Rest when you need it. Rest when you can. Um, don't be bouncing around when your partner is running around to the third court trying to find that last ball because they won't play without all 3 balls. Why would you waste any energy there? Don't win the warm up. Lose the warm up on purpose. Who cares? Nobody's ever turned in the score of who won the warm up. But I think that example of Heidi being high intensity for a small amount of time, and then she's chill for a bit, and then she's back to chaos, and then it's chill for a bit, is a good way to think of it. I had a group a couple weeks ago, 2 players starting a league, and I was doing a warm up, and they both started out. They got a half an hour warm up. The match doesn't start for a half an hour, and I'm helping them get ready, and they started out trying to beat me 2-on-1 in the first 30 seconds. And we stopped and like, this is the warm up. We're not even, why are you working so hard to win? We just started. And think about having that build up and find some calmness. Even if you don't have confidence, find that calmness just a bit. All right, that's all I got. That was 84. I'm like 14 minutes in, something like that. So again, follow me Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all those places. I'm posting some things. If you're a WAC member, we got a short week with Thanksgiving coming up. If you're a pickleball player, December 14th, this is open to non-members as well. I'll be doing a intro to pickleball class. It is a stress-free class for people who don't know what they're doing. Do not show up. Don't register if you know how to play. This is for people who don't know how to keep score, maybe don't own a paddle, but I'd love to have you. It's 90 minutes, and we take you from zero to playing matches in 90 minutes is sort of my goal. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I may sneak one in on Thanksgiving Day because I'll be bored. But follow me on all this stuff, and you can also watch these on YouTube if you'd like to watch that way. Thanks. I'll talk to y'all real soon. See ya.